A weather advisory has been set in Pullman for this weekend, but it's not for snow. We'll tell you what's causing this and how to get prepared.
And with Election Day coming up next Tuesday, we have the updates that matter, including a candidate speaking to WSU students earlier today. All these stories and more right now on Murrow News 8.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Emmett Savoras.
And I'm Allison Martinez. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Our top story this evening, the National Weather Service has issued a high wind watch for the Palouse from Friday afternoon to Saturday morning. According to Pullman Radio, the Spokane-based utility company Avista is expecting high winds to bring down trees and cause power outages. They also said that crews have moved from day-to-day responsibilities to storm-related activities. Let's send it over to the weather wall with Catherine Rowley to take a look at what the high wind watch means for us.
Yeah, so this wind is not going to be a joking matter. As Emmett was kind of saying, this is now a National Weather Service issue. We're going to see winds from 30 to 60 miles an hour. So that means if you have any loose items outside your home or you have any dangling tree branches, you need to secure them or cut them down. You don't really want to end up having a tree branch come through your window. So as for right now, we aren't going to see that for a little bit, but we will. I'll have more for you in our forecast, but for now, back to the desk.
Thank you, Kat. Winds are currently going to affect certain residents. Another cause for disruption is the construction happening on Michigan Street. Murrow News 8's Reese Holmes has more.
Right, I hope you guys are staying warm in the studio. It's a bit chilly out here, but I'm sure our weather person will tell you all about that in just a few minutes here. But as you can see behind me, I'm joining you from Michigan Street on Grady, which has actually been closed due to what was reported as a sewer main break. But when I talked to Pullman Public Works folks over here at the scene, they told me that it was just some routine maintenance and it should be done either by the end of the day today or by tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get that cleared up for you guys and you guys can get back to your regular routines. Anyways, back to you guys here at the desk. That's all I've got for you.
A Washington State University research team is making great strides to help the environment. As published in the journal Waste Management, the team tested a new method to treat sewage that can officially convert leftover sludge to energy. This is an advance that could help communities lower their waste treatment costs while aiding the environment. This Tuesday is election night, and Washington's vote-by-mail system has had some of the highest voter turnouts in the nation. Here are the key races you need to know. Washington's top race is between Democratic Senator Patty Murray, who is seeking a sixth term, against Republican Tiffany Smiley, who is a first-time candidate. Secretary of State is also up for grabs this cycle, as Steve Hobbs hopes to maintain the seat he was appointed after Republican Kim Wyman resigned to join the Biden administration. Finally, incumbents from all 10 of Washington's congressional districts are being challenged. Ballots must be postmarked by Election Day or returned to a ballot box by 8 p.m. to be counted.
Staying in politics, Natasha Hill, the Democratic candidate for the 5th Congressional District in Washington, spoke earlier today at the Foley Speakers Room in Bryan Hall. She is challenging incumbent Kathy McMorris Rogers in Tuesday's general election.
The city of Pullman is hosting a housing workshop right now. The event started at 3 o'clock and will go until 6 p.m. at the City Hall Council Chambers in Pullman, but it can also be joined via Zoom. Pullman Radio says the residents are invited to bring ideas to improve accessible and affordable housing in the city.
The WSU Fall Grad Fair is currently taking place in the lower level of the bookie. Students graduating in December have the opportunity to register, to walk and pick up their caps and gowns, and get their pictures taken in them, as well as any questions about graduation be answered. Fall graduation will take place Saturday, December 10th, so if you're graduating in December, the grad fair ends at 5 p.m. Coming up, a fundraiser that affects men and their faces.
And getting around Pullman in the winter is a lot easier with one crucial change to your car. We'll tell you what that is after the break.
It's Movember across the nation and here on the Palouse. We spoke to one student who expressed why he is growing out his mustache this November.
Oh, every November. I actually haven't been able to grow a beard recently, so shaved it off and the mustache came in really nice this year.
If you want to sign up for the Movember cause, you can do so at Movember.com. Snow tires were legally allowed to be put on Monday, which causes huge lines at Palouse auto shops. I took a look at the issue earlier.
I'm not sure what time will be done, but this was the only day that I could come, so I'm here.
That was Beth Bakken, a Pullman resident, talking about her wait to get her snow tires put on at the Pullman Les Schwab. Snow tires are allowed to be put on in Washington on November 1st, according to the Washington State Department of Transportation. It's just after 7 a.m. I'm standing across the street from the Les Schwab here in Pullman, and if you take a look, that lot is already full. Again, it is 7 a.m. Les Schwab does not open until 8. There's already a line starting to form just outside of the Les Schwab of people waiting to get their tires changed over. The snow hitting Pullman on the night of November 1st can be to blame for the rush to get tires put on. Les Schwab workers were too busy to talk to me, but they did tell me this. The Pullman location is booked with appointments through December 5th. The earliest appointment at the Moscow location is December 13th, and for the location in Colfax, it's November 23rd. For now, employees have been saying to get to Les Schwab as early as possible to wait in line. I was told that getting there at 7 or even 6 in the morning would be best to have a chance to be helped in a timely fashion.
I was the 22nd or the 21st one in line. It's not really frustrating because I've done it before, but I'm usually at the front of the line.
In Pullman, I'm Emmett Savoris, Murrow News 8. As you just saw with some of the snow, it hasn't been the best weather around here. We talked about the wind a little bit earlier. Kat, what should we expect for the rest of the week?
Well, it's cold. That's all I have for you guys. Actually, just kidding. Let's go on over to the weather wall. Okay, so today it's cold. Not really a shocker. We had about a week of fall and then we went right into winter. So high of 41, low of 23. Hopefully it doesn't snow tonight, but that might be different. Let's go ahead and take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be a high of 36. Low of 36, high of 49, but there's going to be some really bad rains and it's going to be pretty rainy as well. Windy, so expect that as well. So going into the state map today, it's pretty standard all over the map. So over here in eastern Washington, a little bit drier, western Washington, a little bit wetter. I'm going to let you guys take a look for a second at those degrees, and then we're going to transfer over to the 5-day forecast as well. So it's snowing. Fun. So it's going to be pretty cold, pretty snowy. I was really looking forward to not having this for the next couple of weeks, but here we are. So stay safe, Cougs, stay warm. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you once again, Kat. One WSU sports team is looking to complete a season sweep over the Oregon schools. We'll tell you who that is next.
And an unprecedented accomplishment in last night's game between the Astros and Phillies and how it could change the course of the World Series. Diego Moctezuma brings you sports coming up next.
Both the men's and women's basketball team hosted a fun-filled night of competition at Bowler Gym on Wednesday. The teams were introduced and getting fans hyped for the season. The event started with the coaches getting the crowd hyped for the upcoming season. Then, eventually, the event got going. They started with a skills dribbling challenge up and down the court with a layup, and then on the way back, a half-court shot. Then it got into the three-point contest, which our very own DJ Rodman won. Then it ended with an eventual dance-off at the end, celebrating the end of the night. The season on Monday, both teams kick off the season on Monday with the women at noon and the men's at 4:30. Let's get everyone's support at Beasley to kick off their season. WSU volleyball coming off a 1-1 home weekend playing Stanford and Cal. The first match on Friday at 6 p.m. is against Oregon State. In the first matchup, they swept OSU, playing very well on the service line and with their attacks. After this match, they look to rematch Oregon on Sunday at noon, who are on a 5-game win streak. As long as they don't underlook both teams and play to their potential, it should be a good weekend for the Cougs. The Houston Astros threw the first ever combined no-hitter in World Series history last night. The Astros beat the Phillies 5-0, tying the series at 2 games apiece. 4 Astro pitchers threw last night in the victory. They will play one more game in Philadelphia tonight before going back to Houston for the remainder of the series. To the Seahawks, man, our 12 fans going nuts right now. We got 3 standout players with Player of the Month awards. First off, Geno Smith on 3rd and 8, patient in the pocket, sees nothing, but scrambles out and almost gets that first down and more. He's got the arm and the legs to make great plays like that. He wins the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. Awesome, let's go to Kenneth Walker III. He is taking over with his speed and power. He finds a huge gap and takes it to the house. Look at that. He wins NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month. Now let's go over to Tariq Woolen on the defense. He leads the team in picks, and you can see why. He just has great instincts on the ball. He's got great speed and size, and he gets that NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month. That's all I got for you guys in sports.
And you know what they say, everyone loves a good comeback story.
But what's better than an animal comeback story? We'll tell you about Stormy the horse and her comeback from injury after the break. After a trailer flip incident, the question wasn't whether rodeo horse Stormy would compete again, it was whether or not he would survive. After 6 weeks, Washington State's veterinary program was able to nurse Stormy back to health.
That's just very heartwarming. If you missed anything, please watch our YouTube channel.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.